Oh God!
Are there dinosaurs in your dinosaur podcast? Hello? Yes? Hey folks, this is Aaron from Evacstation, here to remind you that we study all kinds of genetic abominations for our film discussions. But that research and housing of those creatures has a cost. For less than the cost of your public education, we can avoid putting down Indominus and his Federalist friends. Just head over to patreon.com/evacstation and help us out today. And I'll see you... Wait, has anyone seen Rex?
Put your head between your knees.
Dr. Grant, my dear Dr. Sattler, welcome to Jurassic Park.
In Jurassic Park, scary in the dark, I'm so scared that I'll be eaten.
In Jurassic Park, scary in the dark, I'm so scared that I'll be eaten.
How'd you do this? I'll show you.
So welcome to the After Credits Cast Internet. I am your host, Aaron, Dr. Aaron Grant, and with me today is Ryan Muldoon.
Yes. Wait, what?
Yeah, you're the croc hunter. You're the hunter, man.
Oh, I thought. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I could be the hunter.
And of course, oh, go ahead,
I
go
would
ahead.
have preferred Ryan Malcolm, but that's okay.
I was gonna do that, but I have mini Ian Malcolm.
That's
here.
fair.
He has that role covered.
I cannot take the place of miniature Ian Malcolm. Who am I? Okay.
I've had this toy since I was like fucking 4 years old.
I love it.
And it's just been on my shelf for ages. I had to bring it down for this in particular. It's beautiful.
Fucking Jeff Goldblum has an action figure, man. What a world!
I have a mini.
What a world!
I have a mini Dr. Grant too, but his leg's all fucked up because when I was a kid, my dog got a hold of it and chewed it up. But it's like a dinosaur ate him almost. So I mean that works for all right.
I love it.
As you can all guess, we're doing favorites this week. I mentioned it in the Space Jam preamble, so I'm hoping everyone got that.
Come on,
so we're doing my
sorry.
so we're doing my favorite this week, and then next week we'll be doing Ryan's. So it's Jurassic Park, y'all. It's here, the best movie ever made, in my humble opinion.
It's so good, man. That's an arguable point. It's so good.
Like, here's the thing. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Jurassic Park is not the movie that is going to make you think of the world in a whole new way. It might, but I don't think it's going to. But it's a great film on a technological level for any film student or anyone interested in that behind-the-scenes stuff. After we watched the movie, Amanda and I took a moment to watch the behind-the-scenes. So I had the Blu-ray and everything, so it has all the fun features. And, man, that whole segment, just going over how they make the sounds, how they do the combination of animatronics with the CGI. We even saw they did a stop motion animatics. Like, they're kind of like storyboards, but like 3D and everything. It was really weird, but man, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff behind this movie that just, like, anyone can learn something from it. I think if you're interested in that kind of in the craft.
Man, I think you're gonna I think you just aced the trivia segment. If you watch the goddamn making of, you jerk.
That was not the intention. I honestly expected you just to scour the internet and be like, okay, what's some obscure dinosaur knowledge I can throw his way and see what he knows, and just go with that. Like, any dinosaurs. And I'm like, okay, let's see what I can do with this here. That's a fucking Triceratops there, bro. But this is a long pre-introduction thing. Patreon, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, moving on. Ryan, what you been watching this week? Or what you been doing this week?
Well, I mean, apparently I just don't watch shit unless I do it in mass quantities. But a couple of days ago, while I was drinking in my room, I got the sudden urge to play an RPG. Not Dark Souls, because Dark Souls was kind of kicking my ass, and I wanted something a little more fun, a little more a more wholesome-esque RPG, a more original RPG.
Okay, I want to guess. I want to guess. Is it, first off, Western or Japanese?
Western.
Okay. I got a guess. I'm gonna say The Witcher 3.
Actually, no, I did not. Although I already owned The Witcher 3. I was given it as a Christmas present, but I wasn't really ever able to get into the Witcher series. Maybe I'll try it again one day. But
well, I've been told if you start with Witcher 3, it's not bad. You don't have to play the other two ahead of time. So I haven't tried it yet either. I have it. I just need to find time to play it. So.
Yeah, meh. But in the meantime, I bought something that I wasn't planning on buying, but I'm not mad at myself yet because I've put hours into it and it's fucking fantastic. It's something you mentioned earlier. It's called Divinity Original Sin 2.
For PC
or
or console?
PC.
Excellent. I'm waiting for the Steam sale that's supposedly going on the 21st. As soon as that goes on sale, that's a buy for me because I know I want it, Josh has it, you have it, and Nicole wants it. We can get a party of 4 going for that thing. It'd be great.
So damn good. It takes a lot of strategery in my if we're gonna say it how I say it. It takes a lot of strategery. I think I've started the game over twice, but I have a better idea of what I'm doing now, and I'm having a lot of fun. I have more fun each time I figure some shit out, and I'm still in the starting area. So that's
kind of like
so good.
That reminds me of when I play Skyrim. I always start it over every time because like I play for maybe a few hours and I'm like, I like this character, let's try rebuilding it and do something different. And then I do a whole different quest and I end up finding I do the same sniper stealthy bullshit. So I start over again and again and again. Yeah, I know how you feel.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing
fun
for hours. That's actually why I was a little bit behind, so I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna be salty about that. So I have a few things I've watched recently.
Ooh.
So for those listening, I'm going out of order here because you'll listen to the Studio Ghibli podcast where I do talk about this. But as of this week of this recording, Walking Dead Season 3 is finished just in time for Season 4 to come out in August. I'm excited to see the end of Clementine's story. It's sad a little bit because I know it's going to end in death. It has to.
Oh yeah, someone's dead.
Yeah. But I'm going to say Season 3, it has a lot of moments that I'm like genuinely impressed by, and a lot of moments I'm just like, why are we doing it this way? So, when we get time, I will devote more time to discussing that in detail because that is worth a discussion. It's not Season 1. Nothing's going to ever recapture Season 1, I don't think. Season 4 might. It's really trying with that commercial I saw, but I'm not holding out hope.
So does season 4 start with a brand new person, or
no? So Season 1 you follow Lee, who babysits Clementine for the first game. I think you remember that. Game 2 you play as Clementine, having taken all the stuff you've learned from Lee. Game 3 you play as Clementine for small segments and flashbacks, but you mostly play as a new guy named Javi who interacts with Clementine. They haven't said who's the main character of the 4th game, like who you're playing as. Presumably it's Clementine, but I'm almost worried it's going to make you play as the kid that she's watching named AJ. I hope not, but we'll see. But in more interesting things for everyone listening, though, I actually finally got around to watching Deadpool 2 this past weekend, which I know is going to sound really weird when in like 5 podcasts we talk about like Grave of Fireflies. I'll be saying I haven't seen it yet, but I have seen it now. It's funny, it's weird, but I've seen it.
Cagliostro.
My opinions on it, because I don't want to spend too much time on Deadpool 2. It has a lot of good moments. I really like a lot of what they're doing. Juggernaut is actually fun in this movie compared to his last appearance. And, I would say it's definitely worth checking out. There's a really long, dark segment, though, in Act 2 where I'm like, there's not a lot of jokes here. Where's all the jokes? And then they hit really hard in Act 3, and I'm like, okay, they're back. They're good.
He was sad, man. Sadness.
No, I know, but it's just really weird to see Deadpool try to be serious for a moment, that's all. But I do want to say that, for spoilers, for anyone listening, spoilers for Deadpool 2. Should I do spoilers for Deadpool 2?
Yeah, go ahead.
Spoilers for Deadpool 2, everybody, for listening. The segment where the new X-Force team comes together and then immediately falls apart is literally the best scene of the whole movie. It's hands down just fantastic.
It's so ridiculous! Was that fucking Brad Pitt? Oh my god.
At the same time, though, it's exactly what a Deadpool movie would have. It's what you need. And I have more stuff I've watched, but I'm saving that for another podcast because we'll be recording that eventually here soonish too. So I'm going to save that for next time. Ryan, are you ready to get into this film that is the Jurassic Park?
I am ready.
All right, so as everyone is well aware from the Space Jam, we are taking some time to do favorites between seasons. Jurassic Park is up first, and it's one of my personal favorites, released in 1993 by the legendary Steven Spielberg and adapted from the Michael Crichton novel of the same name. It has grossed $1,029,153,000 in its theatrical run and subsequent re-releases, because there was a 3D re-release like in 2014. This currently places it as the 28th highest grossing film of all time. The 28th out of all the films.
I believe it.
That's fucking awesome. Jurassic Park has won 3 Oscars for Best Sound, Visual Effects, and Effects Editing. No surprises there. And many other awards for its stunning effects and excellent direction from other award show programs. I'm not going to list them all because I literally would not have had room to write anything else on this list. As a bonus fun fact, though, this film generates so that the study of paleontology has had a record increase in students since its release.
Yes!
So, good on you, Jurassic Park, for bringing people to this very studious educational field, learning about evolution and history. We need more of that, because I think that's very important for a age where intellectualism seems to be getting pushed aside for whatever the hell's in office right now. Shots fired. Shots fired. So Ryan, what are your initial thoughts on this movie?
Oh man, this was my childhood come back to life for me. I can remember being a wee little Ryan, so excited and terrified at the idea of the dinosaurs, but it was fantastic, and I think this movie really explains my love of exposition a lot, because they do a lot of talking in this movie. But it's all really good. It's riveting.
It's well delivered.
It's well delivered. And I think watching it as a child really kind of sold me on that style of movie. So, I can see it, and I love it. It was so good to go back down memory lane with this.
Oh yeah, the nostalgia was real. For those listening, so as I already mentioned, it's my favorite. When we were discussing how the favorites we're going to do them in between each seasons, more or less. And as I threw the idea out there to Ryan as to how you pick your favorites, the quote I used from Bernie Burns at Rooster Teeth was simply this: pick a film or a group of films that at one point made an impact on you that really stood out to you. And for me, Jurassic Park was the first film I think that did that, because I was a child and I'd seen your Disney things. I'd seen Ninja Turtles and stuff. I've watched the cartoons and all that stuff. But this is something that combined these fantastical monsters that I've never seen anywhere else with real life. And this is probably the most groundbreaking visual effects in cinema since Star Wars. And Star Wars pioneered ILM. Star Wars started all this stuff. Jurassic Park just elevated to the next level. And then from there you've had Lord of the Rings, you've had more Star Wars, you've had Marvel, you've had all this other stuff. So I don't want to toot the horn too much, but Jurassic Park is an important stepping stone in that history of CGI effects. I definitely think that without any question.
Absolutely, 100%.
Speaking of importance, though, one important segment we got to hit is a synopsis, and Ryan, you're gonna love my synopsis this week.
Oh, buddies!
I put out all the stops this time. I think you're gonna love it. I spared no expense. Here we go. Sparing no expense, John Hammond opens a park with unrealistic technology to bring mutant frogosaurs to the modern age. He is forced to call in various experts because of the many accidents that have occurred in building this park. Experts include a delicious lawyer, a level-headed Dr. Grant, a cool guy Dr. Malcolm, and girl Dr. Sattler. He also hires Newman after having been fired from his postal service. Desperate for cash, he accepts a job from a rival company to steal the dino DNA. Also, Hammond's kids arrive to add a wrinkle to the plot. They're shown a few dinosaurs, and Dr. Swagger questions the moral ethics of the park's existence. Dr. Vagina splits with the monster hunter to help a sick Triceratops. While the remaining quote-unquote experts and the kids are out in the rain, Newman shuts down all the power and makes all off with the dino DNA before he is killed by a dinosaur version of the internet, spitting toxic bullshit all over him. Gonna give Ryan a moment there to collect himself. With the power out, the motherfucking T-Rex steals the show, injuring Dr. Divorcee, and throws Dr. Dillard and the kids over a cliff. The staff panics and tries to fix things. Things don't get fixed. Samuel L. Jackson is killed off screen, Monster Hunter is killed by escaped raptors, and Dr. Breast restores power to certain areas with the aid of Hammond and Mr. Mailing Chest over the radio. Dr. Protagonist leads the kids through various hazards on the island and discovers the mutant dinosaurs are actually hermaphrodimorphs, meaning they can breed when they were told they couldn't. As Dr. I Told You So said, life found a way. All parties who are still alive converge in the visitor center, where inappropriately sized velociraptors wait to rip them apart. A series of wacky events that lead our heroes and kids to re-engage security locks and restart communications. They escape the raptors for a moment, but get cornered in the lobby. But then the motherfucking T-Rex saves the day and gets dinner. The heroes race to the chopper where Hammond and Dr. Painkiller's pleas are waiting. They escape the horrible island and never return, with Hammond pining all of his hopes on Site B. Oh wait, we're not supposed to know about that one yet. Shh!
Oh my god.
Cheers!
Oh my god! I love it!
That's probably one of my favorite ones to write so far. All the fun names for Dr. Malcolm. Just, delicious. I actually forgot the lawyer's name when I wrote this, so I just called him Delicious Lawyer and left it at that.
Oh my god. Dr. Divorcee. Dead.
So, Ryan, now that we've done that, let's talk about the movie in more depth. So, what do y'all think? What's one of your favorite moments from this movie? Let's start with that.
Ooh.
I feel like we're gonna pick the same thing, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
I don't know, because there are so many really good moments. I think what I will pick as my favorite, and it's by no means the best part of the movie, but it really kind of sets the tone, is when they first see the Brachiosaurus for the first time. When, they just get to the island, no one knows anything about the about the island at all. Dr. Grant and Dr. Sadler, they're just like, oh, we're supposed to come here and then tour a park. I don't know why the fuck we're called. And is that a motherfucking dinosaur? Oh my god! So I think it sets the movie off at a point of wonder, which over the course of the movie is paired with terror, but starting it off from these two adult, really intelligent adults that don't really see that. The first bit of the movie kind of distances the two main characters away from children, and then having them get to a point where they're back to childlike wonder because, oh my god, dinosaurs are here, I thought really set the pace for the movie, and it was all up from there. It was perfect.
And honestly, that's still really cool because, it sets the tone and it really sets the wonder that Spielberg's known for. If you look at any of his other films, from E.T. to even his latest film, what was that called again? The one based on the virtual reality thing. Can't remember now. Ready Player One. That's it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. If you look at any of his movies within the realm of fantasy, ignoring the World War II stuff he's done, that's a whole other bucket of fish there. If you look at any of his fantasy stuff, you see the childlike wonder he brings to film, and he does a great job from way back then to now. And so, yeah, this scene definitely captures not only the good tone to start the film with, but just a general good shot of what Spielberg is capable of.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought it really opened up. I thought it really opened up Dr. Grant and Dr. Sadler's characters as well. I liked them at the beginning of the movie. I loved them when they were giggling and just like losing their shit because, oh my god, dinosaurs. I fell in love with the characters at that point.
It breaks my heart to remember Jurassic Park 3 has Sattler marry someone else. I'm like, no, you two were
That
perfect.
still pisses me off. I was gonna ask you about that. Like, why? Why did this not happen?
I don't know. Jurassic Park 3 killed my dreams. I killed so many things. The minute T-Rex neck snaps in that movie, I'm like, everything's dead. The world's gone. I'm done. Okay, so for my favorite scene, that's a tough call for me. I feel like I might have to go with, I'm gonna go with a non-dinosaur scene. I love the dinosaur scenes, and
really?
I could be on that all day. But I'm gonna pick a non-dinosaur scene here. And it's gonna be the moment where they're in the little dining room area and they're just talking about the park itself and what they think about it so far. And when I was a kid, this scene bored me. Because I was a kid, and I'm like, I don't get it.
The first one. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the one
where Malcolm is essentially like arguing the morality around the science that they're going after.
Yep. And it's a scene that bored me as a kid because I was like, just show me dinosaurs. As an adult, though, I look back and I'm like, they do a really good bunch of dialogue back and forth here, and it sets up every character, it sets up what's going to happen. They do everything perfect here. And just Malcolm's whole bit in there about just how, you did everything because you could, but you didn't start thinking you should. That's a great line of thought right there to consider. And just how everyone's kind of dissenting on the idea. And then the lawyer, who was originally against the whole thing, because he's like, well, this is a lawsuit waiting to happen. He's just down, chomping at the bit, like, let's make this go. It's like... And I love
it's just
the line,
like, money, please, money.
I love the line that Hammond brings up, too, where he says, I brought all of you here to defend me against these people, but the one on my side has a blood-sucking lawyer.
It's almost like you should have realized that there's something wrong at that point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hammond. Homie.
And the framing's really good there, too. Like, the lighting and everything. Just good work there, Spielberg. Good work. Okay, so
I'm sorry, but just to kind of piggyback off of that, it's also really cool when you look at one of the wardrobe choices that I didn't consciously consider until I actually was reading just IMDb facts about the movie.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Malcolm and Hammond.
Yes, Malcolm and Hammond are so diametrically opposed. They even start off because Hammond is dressed in all white and Ian is dressed in all black.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just from a visual standpoint, before you even hear anything they're saying, they're automatically on opposite sides, and I love how it sets up the tension just automatically. And then of course you have Jeff Goldblum being Player of the Year. I fucking love this dude so much. He's so cool.
And what's interesting too is if you just had a someone dressed in green, someone dressed in yellow, you had the Power Rangers then because you had everyone else there.
Yeah.
But I think the color correction was good. Good choice of all that stuff just to kind of help set the tone, set the characters up. They did a good job with all that stuff, the setup and everything. If I had to make any complaints, I'm going to get that out of the way very quickly. The continuity editing in this movie is very hit or miss everywhere. I'm going to point out one scene in particular that stood out to me. So I almost called the T-Rex at Jurassic Park. After the T-Rex throws the Jeep off the ledge, and the kid's stuck in the tree. They're in the tree, and they're trying to get Tim out of the car, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me ask you: was there anything in that scene that stuck out to you as weird and it didn't seem right?
You're referring to the scene where he has to climb the tree to get Tim out of the tree?
Where they're trying to get down from the tree, yes.
Not right away. No, nothing sticking out.
So I'll point out here real quick. So 2 things. One, the power was out of the whole park, so none of the lights should be working. But the lights on the Jeep are still on. On top of that, it should only be on if it's still on the track, and it's clearly not on the track anymore. So I wonder how the lights are still on. Granted, it makes the scene look much cooler the way it does. So rule of cool applies here. But continuity-wise, it's fucking all over the place.
Okay, that's fair. That's definitely fair. I will say it wasn't so rattling to me that it threw me off the scene, and I think it did so much for the dramatic effect of the fact that they're in a tree and a fucking truck is falling on top of them. It was just, I think. I will forgive them that continuity scene.
Oh, no,
that continuity sin.
And I agree with you that in terms of what happens in the film and everything, you get pulled in really hard, and you don't notice that stuff right away. But when you're me and you've seen it a million times, you start looking at all the little things with a fine tooth comb. And one thing that stood out to Amanda when we were watching this, on top of after I pointed out the car, was the entire T-Rex enclosure that confused her. And I sat there with her for a minute. I'm like, fuck, you're right. That doesn't make any sense. So when they push the car off the cliff, over the ledge, it goes down the cliff. But here's the real question: how does the T-Rex get from where that is to the main area where the Jeeps are at? Because clearly it steps right over the short wall, but there's not there's a ravine there. How does it get there? Now, granted, when you go back and you see Sattler and Muldoon to pick up Malcolm, who's injured and everything, you get one more look at the scene with the rain gone and the T-Rex gone to get a better view of it. And it looks like there's two different points where the fence was broken down, and the T-Rex came out of one part and the car went over a different part. Same enclosure, but there's like a ravine over more to, I guess, the left of the screen, if anyone's paying attention. Whereas the right side of the screen, in between where the car's rat, is where it came out. But it's one of those things where it's like, when you're first seeing it and you don't get a clear shot of it, you're like, wait a minute, how's this even set up at all? So it's one of those moments where, like, as soon as it was brought up, I'm like, shit, it's breaking my mind. Where the fuck is this coming from? Okay, so I do have some questions here, Ryan, for you, for the basic discussion list here. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
First question: how can we stand the light of Discovery and do nothing?
Ooh, boy.
So, Ryan, where do you stand on the debate between Hammond and Malcolm? Because clearly that is the debate that the film's trying to focus on, and I think it's a very interesting debate. So, do we push the boundaries of science to do whatever we can, or do we have to limit ourselves because we can't just do anything and hope that, only good will come of it?
Well, I think that Discovery is definitely important, but it's almost like everything you create can be used for good or ill. The sword that's built to defend the lives of people can be used to take people's lives. Same thing with weapons, and same thing with guns. Second Amendment folk. Anyway, but I think it falls on us to have the responsibility of trying to think ahead, what ramifications could this bring on society? Dr. Nobel created the Peace Prize because he didn't want to be associated with the creation of dynamite and have that be the only thing to his name. He created something that drove the mining industry forward for by great spans of time, and it was turned into a weapon that was used to kill many, many people. It falls on the people who are making that discovery to also be aware of the consequences, not to just create as much shit as you can and let the rest of the world figure out what they're going to do with it.
So would you say then the smarter move for this Jurassic Park would have been for them to create maybe the herbivores and maybe just a small number of them, study them, figure out how everything's going to go, and just slowly expand and build upon that until you're comfortable with what you're doing?
Definitely. But in today's day and age, you would never be able to do that and they touch on this in Jurassic World. You know, when you're like in the age and society of capitalism where people are trying to turn a profit, you're not like you're gonna make a whole bunch of money like creating dinosaurs, but you're not gonna make as much money if you don't have the dangerous ones, if you don't have the spooky ones that people want to come and see. So I don't think they would have ever received the funding necessary to do it nice and slow, nice and safe. But you gotta have the raptors, you gotta have the T-Rexes, you gotta have all the carnivores there too. I mean, come on, da 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 da. So
I mean, true, but there are a lot of people who really do still dig the Triceratops and Stegosaurus. So I mean, I think at some point that becomes true. I don't think at the immediate discovery. I think at the time of Jurassic Park it came to be. I don't think that would have necessarily been true. But definitely in Jurassic World time, yeah, you're absolutely right. They would have had to eventually get the scary ones out there.
yeah. I loved that Jurassic World went after that. I really, really love that they addressed that.
And speaking of Jurassic World, just to remind everybody, this weekend, the weekend that we're airing this episode, not recording it, is when Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom comes out. So if you're into dinosaurs as much as we are, go check it out. You're gonna have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, so I guess my thoughts on this are that definitely there's a level of responsibility needed for the people doing the science, discovering and building these dinosaurs. I just don't know if there's any way they could have done Jurassic Park in a way that would have been scientifically ethical. Because to Hammond's point, he does bring up the fact that if he had brought back an extinct animal, extinct by humans, sure, yeah, we would have been all over that because we need to make up for the fact that we fucking murdered that animal. But animals that were separated from us from hundreds of, okay, maybe not hundreds, but millions and millions of years of evolution and millions of years of geological changes, there's just so much different in the environment and in the world itself right now that would dinosaurs even acclimate to the climate? Would they acclimate to the geographical landscape? There's a lot of questions you have to ask about that, and that's why definitely a slow and steady approach would have been the smart move to do, because then you could have checked every one of those factors out before going like, okay, time for a T-Rex, you know? I would have been very interested to see the alternate reality where the park actually did go in that direction, just see how much better it would have gone, if at all. Just out of curiosity, even. Alright, here's the next one for you, Ryan. Would you go to Jurassic Park? I know my answer already.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Oh my god,
What?
no!
You wouldn't go? I would go.
I would trust everything to go wrong. It's just chaos waiting to happen.
I love how I embrace the idea of Dr. Malcolm and the whole chaos theory thing. I still want to go anyway, just to see it all burn. I mean, here's the thing, though. If Newman... I know his name's not Newman, everybody. Don't leave comments. But if Newman hadn't done it during, like, a fucking torrential storm, it probably wouldn't have gone as bad. He probably would have been like, oh, yeah, the park's back up and everyone's alive still. But he did it during a fucking monsoon. Who the hell does that? It's a terrible idea.
Well, granted, the storm was not predicted, like, by anybody. Like, he had that plan set up, like, weeks in advance. And then on the day he was gonna set it up, hey, here's a monsoon just for the fucking fun of it. Here's what I want to know, though.
Okay.
He's driving down in a monsoon, of course, and he accidentally hits the sign that points his way to the docks.
Yes.
Why, in the name of God, is the arrow on a swivel? The docks don't change. The docks don't show up like go from left to right.
No, right. It's a procedurally generated island. The docks change all the time.
What? I was like, why? Like it didn't hit me until I watched it this past week. It's just like, wait, why can you change the arrow?
Well, and
the place shouldn't change.
As someone who works on the island too, you'd think you have a better idea of where everything is.
Do you think that guy actually like drives himself around?
No, but he's familiar with all.
He takes the shuttles.
No, but he's familiar with all the security systems where everything's located. He should know a general layout at the very least.
Maybe.
But as far as him like getting lost on the way to the docks and knocking over the sign, he's just a reckless driver. He really should have slowed the fuck down. I mean, come on, you're hydroplaning, dude. You're gonna fucking hit everything.
Yeah, but he was trying to make that boat. He was trying to make that boat. He just robbed like
as soon as that
10
storm
billion
started,
years of
that boat was
research.
gone, and you know it.
Yeah, no, he was never making it. He was not gonna make it. But he thought he could. That's why. That's why he got toe up.
And for those interested in the fate of the Barbasol can, because that actually does play a role in the Telltale Jurassic Park video game, we have a Let's Play on our YouTube channel. We'll put a link in the description. Go check it out, because it's actually a lot of fun. Aaron and I run through the whole park and shout motherfucking T-Rex every time the motherfucking T-Rex comes on the motherfucking screen. It's fantastic. Okay. So next question then. Related to Newman, actually. So did Hammond really spare an expense on Newman, or was he just overpriced?
I think it's neither. I think his dumbass is not responsible. I think he probably pissed away his monies and did it very irresponsibly, and or he underbid himself, in which case either way it's his fault.
Hey, I'm not judging. I just love hearing Hammond say spare no expense every 5 minutes, and then this one moment where they're arguing about money, Newman's like, I'm not getting paid enough, and Hammond's like, fuck off. Like, it's the one time where Hammond actually, gets pretty pissed off at somebody. It's like, man, dude, you're different from the book, but, this is the one time you're pretty close to what you look like in the book. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, really? Is Hammond more an angry person in the book?
So I have read the book, as I'm sure everyone's aware by now. So let me drop the knowledge bombs here, Ryan, on this knowledge bomb segment I'm going to do.
Get at me.
So, in the book, there's a lot of changes, actually, and there's a question about that. So in the book, John Hammond represents more of a typical corporate douchebag. I guess not even a douchebag. He's more like a typical corporate old guard asshole, basically. He's there to make the money, and that's it. The lawyer, it's more like him in the movie, but not nearly as angry. So, for example, when the kids show up in the book, and the kids are different too, by the way. But when the kids show up in the book, Hammond doesn't get all happy, hug him, like, "Oh, kids, you're here, yeah." Now, instead in the book, he's like, "Fuck, the kids are here. I didn't want them here yet." You know, like he was he was not in the zone for that. That's one of the major changes. They made him a much happier, easier going character. And I think that definitely helps sell the optimism of the first part of the movie a lot better. The kids are different too. Lex is actually younger and more into sports and shit, whereas Timmy is older and he is the computer hacker.
Really?
Yep. I don't know why they changed that one of all things. That's a weird one. The only reason I remember that is because there's a scene in the book where Grant plays catch with Lex. It was really weird. There's a few characters in The Office that are merged together. I actually think Samuel L. Jackson's character is supposed to be two different characters, if I remember right. Let's see, what else has changed? I know that Ian Malcolm actually dies in the book.
What?
Yeah, so the T-Rex attack, he still survives for a little bit, but he dies just from the trauma and the bleeding out and everything.
No, you can't kill Ian Malcolm. He's the best actor.
Well, what's weird, though, is they brought him back in the second book. And they had to have a whole press conference to explain what happened. And that's what Crichton says, "Yeah, no, he got better." And I'm like, fuck you! Just, what are you doing?
Yeah, no. Crichton wrote the book. Everybody was like, "Dude, how could you kill Ian Malcolm?" And he's like, "Fuck, I have to bring Ian Malcolm back somehow."
He really did.
That is exactly what happened.
John Hammond also dies in the book because he's eaten by, I think, a bunch of Compsognathus. The little green ones. But in the book, he deserves it, though, so that's fine. There are a few other changes, too. I know there's dinosaurs in the movie, in the book that don't show up in the movie. And I don't remember anything else at the top of my head, but those are the major ones I can recall. So, yeah, there's a few significant changes worth noting here. And here's the thing, though. If anyone's seen Ready Player One, I haven't yet, but I've heard enough about it. Spielberg's adaptations tend to change the books from the books, and usually it's for the better. And I'm not saying the movies are better, but I'm saying that they change things that won't work for the film. You're not going to get a negative corporate douche nozzle like Hammond. You're going to get the optimistic Walt Disney style John Hammond. In Ready Player One, I'm trying to remember how they changed it. I know they changed the basic like moral you take from the movie versus the book, but I know there's a big change with that as well. But
they also sped up the timeline a lot from the book to the movie.
Which is good, because you don't want to have a movie that drags on. You want to have something that's a little more punchy for a 2-hour jaunt. So, Spielberg is a magician when it comes to adaptations. And I think that someone like, say, what's the guy's name? Zack Snyder could learn a thing or two from him. Don't make your movies long, slow, dark, and brooding all the time. You gotta shorten them up. You gotta punch it up a little bit. And you gotta add a little optimism to it. And that's what Spielberg is really good at. And I think that's one of the reasons why I would go to him for any adaptation, because he knows how to do that. He knows how to sell up the original work in a way that most directors can't, I think.
Definitely, I couldn't agree with you more. I think he has an amazing talent for essentially knowing what will and won't work in the movie. Like, kind of in, like the movie, like, lens, I want to say. Like within this media, he kind of has an intuitive sense of what will and won't work storytelling-wise. And the parts of it that won't work, he knows how to change it to fit the medium that he's telling it on. So I think it's fantastic. And I will always go and watch a Steven Spielberg movie. Absolutely.
I will too. I will eventually get the Ready Player One on DVD because I totally missed it in theaters, and I feel like a bad person for that. But no, so that is the general questions I got for you, Ryan. I have one more though, because obviously this is a dinosaur movie. What dinosaur was your favorite in this movie?
Oh man, my favorite dinosaur? Ooh,
it's tough.
Oh.
When I was a wee child, Ryan, my favorite was always the Velociraptors, because I just loved how fucking coordinated and cool they were running around, being all wolf pack-like and everything. It was really cool. As I've gotten older, though, I have to admit, I really do appreciate the level of work and the level of dedication it took to get that T-Rex on the big screen. Like, that is one of the biggest monsters I've ever seen on TV, or I guess on movies, that looks like it's actually there. So that alone, I think, has to get it, just because of how much work they put into that thing. Like, fucking crazy shit right there.
Yeah, I gotta give it to the T-Rex, too. I mean, like, everything from his initial entrance, and just every single time he shows up, the movie amps to 10. Just, like, regardless, in any capacity, if the T-Rex is on screen, everybody's like, shit, what's about to happen? And you actually bring up a really good point in regards to looking like the dinosaur was actually there. And I'm sorry to take a tangent from the original question.
Oh,
but
go ahead.
It kind of threw me off a bit. So I watched it on my TV, my big screen,
yeah.
And I got a 1080p Blu-ray copy of it. Now, watching it in such sharp detail, it actually kind of threw me for a loop, because the dinosaurs that are computer generated, you can tell they're computer generated.
It's like, not as strong as some of the movies, but it is a little more noticeable, yeah.
Well, no, so it's strong. It was strong for me because I can remember watching it on like lower resolution film on like VHS, and they pretty much blended straight into the background and into the foreground. It was almost seamless, and which I thought made it amazing to watch, where I couldn't necessarily tell the difference between the CGI and the animatronics, except for when, well, they obviously didn't make a fucking 30-foot tall robot, Ryan, so come on.
Well, they did, though. They did.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I mean, like, the Brachiosaurus. They obviously didn't make, like, a real Brachiosaur, except for the scene with the tree where it was eating. It was really cute.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's a little more noticeable to tell, except for the T-Rex, I feel, because everything about the T-Rex was done just about perfectly. I think there's only like 2 CGI moments with the T-Rex in True.
The very end and
the chase.
The Gallimimus for sure.
Oh, the Gallimimus. No, I'm talking. Yeah, the Gallimimus definitely. Yeah, the Gallimimus. So like 3. There were only like 3 times where the T-Rex was CGI, and it was done so well and so strikingly that the only reason you really know it's CGI is because they cannot build a robot that's gonna run up and snatch somebody in its jaws and be done with it like that. So
well, and the best part too was that you could tell more when it was lighter out, when it was darker, like at night during the rain and everything. Those moments you could tell the T-Rex was not. It was hard to tell in those moments because there's so much more stuff obscuring the screen. But when you get to the daylight, yeah, they stand out a bit more. That's not up for debate there. I can totally agree with that one. And if you look at the behind the scenes stuff, whenever anyone gets a chance to, obviously, yeah, a lot of the dinosaurs are definitely CGI. There's a few moments like the legs of the Velociraptor. I know they've done in multiple movies where that is mechanical. They have some dude in like some like special pants that looks like Velociraptor feet, and they just have him walk when the camera's like at the foot level. That's pretty cool. But for the scene in the rain, it was the biggest scene where it was a mix of animatronic and CGI. And the problem with the animatronic during that scene is because of all the rain they had to bring in, it made the skin mold on the Tyrannosaurus robot skeleton so heavy, the hydraulic machines running it couldn't carry over 9,000 pounds of weight. It was fine-tuned for a specific amount of weight. So they had to stop the scene multiple times and dry the fucking thing off because it would start shaking and looking all fucking freaked out and stuff. It was ridiculous. But the amount of effort they put in to make that scene work with that and combined with the CGI, fucking brilliant. Like, I mean, they pulled it off there, without question.
They really did.
Looking at the newer movies, too, it kind of depresses me a little bit because I remember specifically in Jurassic Park 3, when they showed the T-Rex for the first time and the last time in that trilogy against the Spinosaurus, and they had that little fight. That T-Rex looked so fucking cartoonish and fake. I just looked at him like, what the fuck happened to that T-Rex? What the hell happened to this movie? Where are my dinosaurs at? This is all fucking garbage. Like, even in Jurassic Park 2, they looked really good. What happened here? What happened?
So, question then, what's your opinion on Jurassic World?
Overall, or are we just talking about the special effects?
You can do special effects and then overall.
I don't want to get too deep because I think we should do a podcast for that one at some point down the road, but I'll give a brief snippet here. For the special effects, I think they've come a long way in making pure CGI creatures look alright. The Velociraptors were fine, I think. The T-Rex wasn't in it enough for me to be a fair judge. I didn't care for the Indominus Rex, but mostly because I just want to see more real dinosaurs and not this weird hybrid shit. I get that it's part of the story, and I'm okay with that. But there's so many dinosaurs they haven't even shown on film yet. So I think we're missing opportunities there, honestly.
Alright.
But as far as the special effects go in that movie, I think they did a fair job with it in terms of keeping it to more pure CGI. I think I've seen stuff that looks worse. It looks a shit ton better than Jurassic Park 3. It looks like they actually had a budget for that film. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they make Jurassic Park or Jurassic World 2 take that up a notch. Because I'm curious to see if they can pull it off with more, basically, is what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, when I watched Jurassic World, honestly, I was just kind of caught up in all of the nostalgia. I feel like I need to watch it again with a little bit more of a critical eye. That being said, I liked the Indominus Rex for what it was. I really liked the idea that it was this idea of novelty and just like advancement for the sake of advancement going up against the tried and true. So like when you have the Indominus Rex versus the T-Rex and the Velociraptor, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it took a really, really cool concept to see and actually gave it kind of like a higher plane of thought in regards to like this concept of old versus new. I thought I really liked what they did with that.
Oh yeah, thematically it fits in the film. It's just like I said, I'm picky and I want more dinosaurs, like real ones.
That's fair. That's fair. Although a fucking T-Rex size guy with the raptor brain that can active camouflage in normal sight is just bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. Why does he need to camouflage?
Listen, guys, if you just want to make a Predator movie, make a Predator movie. Don't call it Jurassic Park.
I mean, I loved it. I loved it, but I was screaming like this. That's bullshit. There's no reason for you to have this. It's just fun. It's just fun for me.
So Ryan, I know you have trivia for me, and everyone, Ryan's got trivia for me this week. Not me, for him. It'll be interesting.
Yes.
So, before we do that, though, I just want to say one thing. Of all the dinosaurs I think that could be in these films, one that I would like to see, but I think would be very difficult to pull off well, would be a dinosaur that's it's the evolutionary step between raptors and modern day birds called Archaeopteryx. I can't remember how you pronounce the name. If you've seen it, it's basically a raptor with a lot of feathers on it, but also like a longer. It's I'll have to show an image at some point. I'll put it up in the podcast. But Archaeopteryx, I'm gonna call it that. I would love to see that. The only reason I know it'd be difficult is because of the feathers. I know that rendering feathers and fur tends to be a lot more work, so I'm not gonna hold out hope it gets in there. But I would love to see something like that, just because I know that that's a really nice little in between, and not very many people have seen it. And it would be definitely a lone way. It would be definitely a good step to sealing the deal of, hey, these are birds, fuckers.
God in heaven. Yeah, no, that would be fantastic.
Ryan, did you know that the concept of birds being dinosaurs wasn't even really a popular thing until around the time this movie came out? And that's when the theory started being more widely accepted after it came out?
I did, and now I can't ask you that question, Aaron. Thanks.
So, guys, let's go to trivia segment.
Wow. You know what? I don't even know why I try. God.
I blew Ryan's trivia out of the water already twice. What was the first one I blew out of the water?
I mean, shit. Okay, so I borrowed the level of questioning from our Marvel days. So we got easy, medium, and hard. The easy is a gimme. The hard, well, the hard might cause you to scratch your noggin a little bit. It's not all. It's mostly stuff around the movie rather than just straight up dinosaur facts. So I thought I might throw you for that one too. But the first question, which you'll get before I even really finish it, what is the name of the dinosaur that's responsible for killing Mumin?
That would be the Dilophosaurus.
A Dilophosaurus, you are correct.
I wish it had gotten more screen time. That thing's supposed to be so much bigger.
He was so cute, though. I really liked the idea. He made the most adorable sound
until he started getting all mad.
Killed him right before he killed him. This fool took his glasses off. Moron! Oh my god.
Can we be fair though? Those glasses wouldn't have. To quote Rainier Wolfcastle, "My eyes, the goggles do nothing."
Fantastic. All right. So for your medium question, what romantic relationship actually translated from Jurassic Park into real life?
Oh, interesting. I may not know this one. This is the medium question? So the only romantic relationships they really hint at are between Ellie Sattler and the two doctors, of course. The one with Grant is the one that actually was a relationship in the movie, and then Dr. Malcolm was just kind of trying to swagger his way into that whole bit. So I'm going to go with the only relationship that actually is in... Well, you wouldn't ask this unless it was a trick question, so I'm going to say it was Goldblum and the actress who plays her... I can't remember her name now. Why am I forgetting the name?
It's fine. It's close enough. You got it right anyway. God damn it.
I knew you wouldn't ask unless it was a trick.
I thought I might trick him. You are correct, sir. Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern, who
That's the
actually
name.
was in the Last Jedi. They met on set of this film. They began a romantic relationship and were actually engaged for 2 years before breaking up.
They had some good chemistry on screen, too. I loved it. It was good.
They did. I really enjoyed it, too. All right. For your difficult question, the sound effect of the Tyrannosaurus roar is a combination of 5 animal sounds. List them, please.
This is tough because we watched the making of, and it did go over dinosaur noises. I don't remember them going over the T-Rex. They went over the Velociraptor and Dilophosaurus. I don't remember any moment where they mentioned the T-Rex noises at all, which is throwing me off now. I know that during the scene with the Gallimimus, when it's like eating one of them, according to one of the sound guys, the noise was just his dog chewing on like a thing, like a toy or something, just going nuts with it. So I'm assuming dog is one of the noises.
That's one. If we were doing this back in Marvel days, I would give you a point for each animal. But since we're not, and the points don't matter, like whose line, just go ahead and name as many as you can.
Okay. So we got that. I want to say the walrus is in here as well. I know it was in the Velociraptor. I'm going to say it's here too. I'm going to say... I'm going to say bull or cow. I'm not sure if there's a difference there. I'm going to say... Crap, I'm trying to think of all the other ones.
I've got dog, walrus, and cow/bull.
Yep.
That's what you gave me.
Let's go with... let's go throw a curveball in there. I'm going to say some type of aquatic animal. I'm going to go whale, just to see if that throws anything in there. And then the last one, I'm going to go with a... I'm trying to think of all the animals it could possibly be. I'm going to go rhino. Let's go rhino. Let's try that.
Alright.
I know I got at least 2 of them. I don't know if I got all of them, though.
You got one of them, actually.
Fuck. Okay, so which ones did I get then?
I mean, I don't fault you at all, because this is a really difficult question. I didn't know this shit. But you got the dog correct. It is a the roars were a combination of dog, penguin,
Fuck.
tiger,
I should have thought tiger. I almost went lion.
alligator,
Makes sense.
and elephant sounds.
I went rhino. I should have gone elephant. What am I thinking?
You were close, though. You were like,
I was really close.
I definitely like your train of thought on those. Definitely.
So here's the thing, though. So I remember the Velociraptor. So the Dilophosaurus, when it does the whole hissing noises, it's a mix of rattlesnake and like a hawk. And then the Velociraptor was like a mix of dolphin and what was the other one? That was also dog. It was dolphin and dog, I think, for that one. I remember those two. I could not remember anything because of T-Rex. Like I said, they didn't mention any of that at all. I was confused as to where that noise library was for that one.
Yeah,
They're
when
fucking
you
crazy.
mentioned that you watched the behind the scenes stuff, I was just like, oh fuck. Well, my hard question is like,
And
gone.
here's the funny thing. I purposely watched it because I wanted to see what the animal noises were for the dinosaurs. So I wanted to show her. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Listen to this shit.
Derp.
All right. So we'll close out here real quick with our final thoughts. Give the movie a rating. Not that we really need to, but so Ryan, since we have extra time here to delve into this, so I've officially made the ranking system for this podcast and for future podcasts. I'll do you want the link or do you want me to just copy paste it into the chat?
Go ahead and copy paste it.
Okay, it's gonna be a bit messy in the chat, so I can walk you through it here real quick, and I'll walk it through with the audience here as well. So we're gonna do a system similar to my reviews on my old blog, which if you want to look for those, I could put a link in the description. But I decided to throw away numbers. I decided to throw away letters and stars. I decided to go with the medal rankings like you do for Olympic Games and shit, gold, silver, yada yada yada. So here's how I got for this. And I have examples here to help illustrate this. So we're going to stick with the Marvel one since we've already done Marvel. So Platinum is a movie that's near perfection at what it does. Everyone needs to see it. This would be something like your Infinity War movie. This is something that we all agree you need to see this. A Gold level movie is a movie that's excellent and a true classic. It's something everyone should see. Not that you need to, but we just say you probably should see it. This would be something like Iron Man, the one that starts everything, obviously. Silver, that'd be a great film. Maybe a little unpolished, but it would not hurt to see it. For this one, this would be something like Thor. Something that you don't have to see, but we definitely think it's not going to hurt you to see it either. Bronze level, it's an okay film. It's inoffensive, but it does nothing extraordinary. So for this one, I say you can either wait for rent or DVD. This one would be like The Incredible Hulk. I liked it, but it's not the most amazing one. So I'll admit you can wait on that one. The next one, since I'm out of the actual medals, Stone. This movie is mediocre. It has fixable problems, but it had a good idea in there somewhere. It is quote-unquote skippable. This would be something like, in my opinion, Iron Man 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
The next level is Dirt. This is going to be bad or poor. This is a movie that may have had potential, but is overshadowed by all the problems it has. This is also skippable. I didn't have any Marvel movies for this one, so I put Batman vs. Superman here.
Of course. Hey, I don't blame you. God damn you. So, it had such potential!
But Ryan, there's a level below this. This is a shit level. I changed the wording here. This was, I think, Bedrock, but I'm just going to call it shit. This is offensively bad. This is unintelligent, unimaginative, and it's broken the minute it comes out. This is a hard pass. There's only one movie I have seen in my... Well, okay, there's probably more than one. There's only one to my recollection that sits here, and that is... Actually, I'm going to take the one off this. I'm going to put Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie. That's this level.
Yeah, no, that was offensively bad. You're right, that was offensively bad.
So those are the rankings. I will keep those posted on these different outlines. I can keep reposting them in chats if we need reminders and stuff. So Ryan, when it comes to Jurassic Park, where would you rank it at?
For Jurassic Park, I would absolutely give it a strong gold. It is a true classic. I was awash in nostalgia the moment I started watching it. I think everybody should see it. Absolutely, it's fantastic. But it doesn't like instantly change my perspective on life every time I see it.
Oh, of course not. No. And I agree. So in a later movie that I won't drop the name here, but I gave it a platinum ranking because it is a movie that everyone should see or needs to see because it involves sad stuff in World War II. It's a movie that changes your opinions or will inform you of something that you need to know about. This movie does not do that. It's pure entertainment at its best, but it's classic. And if you are interested in learning anything about film, this is a movie that is worth studying because there's not a lot of movies that are this good and holds up for almost, we're almost to 30 years now at this point. I think we're at 25 now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if a 25-year-old film can hold up this well and you're a film student, maybe go give it a look. If Citizen Kane can be studied after all this time, I think Jurassic Park has earned a spot. So we've explained our rankings. We've given our movie a rank. Let's go ahead and close out this podcast, Ryan. If you are interested in seeing more of these episodes and any of our spin-off shows which we're working on, which will be coming in August, ideally, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give us rankings on iTunes, Google, or whatever your preferred podcast platform of choice is. I've been told that the more rankings or more ratings and reviews and shares you get, the more likely it is that you'll be getting more people to come in and see it. So help us out with that. That'd be great. Another way you can help us out is going to our Patreon, patreon.com/Evacstation. The link is down below. If for only $1, you can help support this show to help keep it going indefinitely, to help us find more movies to talk about, and all sorts of other fun stuff. Help us get our genetic monsters made ourselves. It'd be great. And on top of that, too, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, so we're not going to do listener questions for a little while. We're going to do just a general mailbag. If you have anything you want to talk about for Jurassic Park, we can answer that next week. If you want to talk about Matrix, which is going to be our next film, Matrix Reloaded, mind you, again, send us your stuff in, and we will discuss that in the podcast as well. And, of course, our next big arc is going to be Studio Ghibli films. If you want to send us comments or thoughts on Studio Ghibli movies, that's any Studio Ghibli movie at any point in time, send those to us, and we will read them either at the end of an episode that seems fitting, or at the end of the whole season as like a wrap-up thing. I haven't decided what we're going to do with that yet. But if you do want to send us comments, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and of course our email. Ryan, tell the lovely people out there what our email is.
That is Evacstation at gmail.com.
He's caught the Goldblum. Everyone look out. It's contagious. But yes, so leave us comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. And we will bring back listener questions down the road at some point when we get maybe more interaction and more fans liking and sharing our stuff. But if you want to help us get to that point, like it, share it, review it, send it out there. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors' friends, tell your mom, tell your mom's friends, tell everybody. It'd be great. And
maybe talk to us. Maybe.
Yeah, you could. If you actually want to reach out to us, you can find me on Twitter at Evacstation, Yeah, Evacstation. I haven't changed the name on that one yet. Ryan, is there any way they can reach out to you on social media?
Just through the general evac channels. I'm always on there somewhere, and I can definitely see it, so I can reply if you guys hit us up, which you never do.
You guys are making Ryan sad. Stop it. Just talk to him. Look at this man. He wants your love. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
All right, enough of that.
I don't know the rest of the song, so I'm going to stop there. But yeah, so thank you for listening, everybody. Next week, we'll be delving into the cyberpunk world of The Matrix Reloaded. And we will be seeing you after the credits.
Bye.
In Jurassic Park, scary in the dark. I'm so scared that I'll be eaten. That's really good.
Good.
Really good.
You like that?
I
We should have been on Captain Kangaroo.
did. I will say,
Good job.
all things